Okay, trinomials, we've worked with trinomials. Let's do a couple examples. So here is how you factor trinomials, especially with your leading coefficient is 1. We want to find two numbers that multiply to C and add to B. Okay, so that's the big idea. Find two numbers that multiply to C and add to B. So let's do a couple examples. X squared minus 6x plus 5. Okay, so what two numbers multiply to 5 and add to negative 6? Well, negative 5 and negative 1. And then x and x. And that's it. So that's a bit of review from last unit. Let's do another example. 3x squared plus 3x minus 60. Some of you might be saying, wait, Miss Han, that leading coefficient is not 1, but I'm looking for a greatest common factor first, remember? Is there something I can divide out of everything? I can divide everything by 3. So really this becomes x squared plus x minus 20. What two numbers multiply to negative 20 and add to 1? Well, negative 4 and positive 5. And we're done. Right? That should be a little bit of review. Now, what if my leading coefficient is greater than 1 and I cannot take out a GCF? Well, let's see what happens. We want multiplies to A times C and adds to B. So this time we're adding another element. Okay. So let's do this example here. 2x squared minus 15x minus 77. Okay, so this time we're going to do either a box or grouping. This time I'm going to show you how to do the box method. Okay, so let's do this. Negative 77 times 2 is negative 154. I want to add to negative 15. I'm going to have a positive number and a negative number. All right. Well, the only two numbers I can think of are 22 and 7. Because if 2 times 77 equals 154, then 22 times 7 also equals 154. So now we're going to draw our little box. Okay, our first term goes in this corner. Our last term goes in this corner. And then everything else we're going to put in the other side. We're going to put x's on these two. Okay, now I look and see, what do these two have in common? What can I factor out of both 2x squared and negative 22x? Well, if you said 2x, you would be correct. Okay, what can I factor out of both of these? A 7. Okay, what can I factor out of both of these? Just an x. What can I factor out of both of these? A negative 11. So our two factors are 2x plus 7, which comes from right there, and then x minus 11. And we're done. Okay, so with 4 terms, we're going to try grouping. So here's your strategy for 4 terms. You're going to find the GCF of each part. When I say each part, I mean grouping. Okay, then factor the binomials. Okay, move that over so you can read that. All right. Let's do a couple examples of this one. X cubed minus 2x squared plus 6x minus 12. So when I say grouping, I mean group. Group the first two together and the last two together. Okay, and then I say, what can I take out of both of those? What is the greatest common factor I can factor out of x cubed and negative 2x squared? X squared. So what's left over when I divide by x squared? Well, x minus 2. Okay, what's the biggest thing I can take out of 6x and negative 12? Plus 6, x minus 2. So my two factors are x minus 2 and x squared plus 6. And I'm done. Okay? Let's do one more. Let's do x cubed plus x squared minus 9x minus 9. Again, going to group the first two together and the last two together. Keep this sign in the second binomial. Okay? Factor out an x squared from the first one. So I'm left with x plus 1. Factor out a negative 9 from this one. And I get x plus 1. So my answer is x squared minus 9 times x plus 1. And that's it.